Timmy, it's time we had the talk. Want to talk about the birds and the bees? No. You talk to your mom about that stuff. We're not going to have that conversation. We need to talk about caliber. Welcome to Adrenaline-Fueled Firearms. My name is Scott. Today I'm going to talk about caliber. Specifically focusing on rifle caliber. Not to say that these calibers aren't available in pistol, shotgun. Well, probably not shotgun, but pistol, bolt action rifle, other formats. But I want to focus primarily on rifle calibers. I've done a lot of discussion about caliber being a very important part of your decision when it comes to determining what's right for you with pistols and rifles. So today we're going to do a little bit about caliber, focusing on long guns and kind of my 50 cents. First I'm going to frame why my 50 cents is what the 50 cents is. So there are over 100 calibers according to Google just when you discuss the AR15. I believe the number's like 111 or 112. This includes wildcat calibers, commercial calibers, obsolete calibers, probably a couple calibers that only exist in the Marvel Universe. Excuse me, it's probably copyrighted in comic books. So that's a lot. Now, based on a few statistical assumptions, so as my stats professor said when I took the class, 75% of statistics are made up on the spot. So let's talk about a statistic that's made up on the spot. Here in the United States of America, a majority of the population is located in or around an urban area, i.e. a place where you can't walk out of your house and legally discharge a firearm. Therefore, persons living in these areas will either need to have a friend who has a place where you can legally walk out their back door and discharge a firearm safely, or they'll need to go to a range. A majority of the ranges in the United States of America do not move beyond 100 yards. Okay, fair enough. Next, those people who live in those areas are also the ones who have the best internet. This is an internet YouTube video. I'm not saying that folks like me who live out in the boondocks and can walk out the back door and legally and safely discharge a firearm, theoretically, don't have internet at all. But I'm here to tell you, based on personal experience, there is a reason, spoiler alert, there's a reason my channel shut down for 2 years and just recently came back. Yeah, internet. I literally was taking a day to download and edit a video. Matter of fact, the editing was day one, along with the filming and everything else. Literally 8 hours to up and download videos. One. So, next factor is internet speed. So there's a good probability that you folks who are watching this probably live in an urban area where you can't walk out your back door and discharge a firearm. Probably live in an urban area where you've got good internet and you can watch this stuff. So, we're going to make the assumption that a majority of you are going to be practically looking at a firearm that for a majority of its lifetime will only be utilized at 100 yards or closer. So, that narrows down our selections. Not to say that there aren't a ton of really great calibers out there. 22 long rifle, 22 Win Mag. Guess what? 100 yards. 30-06. Man, that is a venerable round. A lot of deer have been wiped out with that round. It's good beyond 100 yards. Not so much. 7.62 by 54R. Kept the Germans out of Russia. Got to be good enough. A little bit much. Never gun. 30-30, why not? Beyond 100 yards. Let's talk about some new stuff. 300 PRC, 300 Winchester Short Magnum, a little 224 Valkyrie. What's not to like? There's nothing not to like. Just not my recommendation for people who are only going to be shooting out to 100 yards. A lot of those rounds, other than the first ones I stated, are a bit expensive. You're looking at $1.50, $2 every time you pull the trigger. Good way beyond 100 yards, and you're only banging out to 100 yards. Maybe thinking about using it for self-defense. All those are going to go through a couple walls, which means whether or not you pop the intruder, once you pull that trigger, that round keeps going, you're legally liable for that sucker. What's it hit? Who knows? You pulled the trigger, it went through a bunch of walls, you can't see what it could hit. Probably not a great choice for that either. And the 100-yard thing. Well, here's a selection, my little tray here, for my AR LR308 rounds. A bunch of them. 223, 300 black, 6mm arc, 6.8 SPC, 450 Marlin, 6.5 PRC, 8.6 blackout, on and on and on. Hold your horses. 100 yards. Some good selections there. Not going to be my picks. My pick, my recommendation, based on under 100 yards, possibly utilizing it for self-defense, versatility, availability, cost, and many other factors for someone who's looking at becoming a beginning shooter. I am actually going to push you in the same direction that some of you may have figured out, because you might have seen my video on building your first AR-15. I wasn't going to say 223. I don't like 223. It exists. 300 blackout. Oh my God. Why did you say that, Scott? What's wrong with you? Blah, 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 blah. Like I said, 300 blackout. I just, literally, as of the filming of this, February of 2023, was able to find brass case 300 blackout for 50 cents a round. Let me say that again. In stock, 50 cents a round. A couple years ago, COVID, supply chain shortages, isolations, oh my God, nobody's got nothing, we're out of toilet paper. There was a gun shop that had dives for 300 blackout. I was able to get powder for 300 blackout. I was able to get small rifle primers for 300 blackout. Once fired, resized 223 brass for 300 blackout. See where this is going? 300 blackout. 300 blackout. Like it or not. Love it or not. Hate it. Think it's overrated. Say, think, feel what you like. Fact of the matter is, I was able to acquire the materials to reload 300 blackout when I couldn't acquire actual 300 blackout cartridges. Now I'm able to acquire 300 blackout economically so that I can go out and shoot a ton of it, because I love shooting it. It's available in pistols. The ATF don't get them all. ARs, bolt actions, and I'm pretty sure single shot breaks. Open. Talk briefly about those. It's readily available firearms for 300 black. Readily available ammunition for 300 black. Practical to own for people living in an urban area, i.e. the majority of people who may or may not be viewing this video based on the 100-yard rule I mentioned earlier. Supersonic, subsonic. Overpenetration is not as big of an issue in certain circumstances depending on how you're loaded and what you're shooting. So it's a potentially good self-defense round. It's 30 caliber. It's a valid hunting round. It just has a ton of versatility. It checks all the boxes, in my opinion, to be a good first cartridge if you can hunt with non-straight wall cartridges where you live and if hunting is one of your goals. It's more than enough to pop holes in paper. It's fine for banging on steel as long as you're safe. You can put tons of rounds downrange because you can find it and it's not super expensive. You can find a lot of barrels, find a lot of uppers, find magazines. Fact of the matter is, above and beyond anything else, when we're talking about calibers, there is availability and commonality with the 300 Blackout. It allows it to be a highly versatile round that an early lifestyle, whatever you want to call it, an early shooting sports aficionado or fan could effectively purchase and shoot a lot. Or hopefully get a little money out of it if you purchase a firearm and don't enjoy it. So that's just a quick viewpoint, quick opinion, and an idea to get you started with the subject of caliber. Look into the rest of them. Think about the rest of them. But I'm going to stand by my opinion. When you start off, give 300 Blackout a try. If nothing else, if you have friends, there's probably one of them that has something in 300 Black. Shoot it. See if you like it. If you like it, buy it. Shoot it some more. Have fun with it. Because you know what? That's what it's about. It's about being safe, being responsible.